Hello, dear colleagues.
Позвольте мне
Let me
представиться.
introduce
Меня
myself.
зовут Алексей
My
Белкин,
name is Alexey
главный
Belkin.
исследователь данных блока
I'm
финансов.
the Chief Data
Управляющий
Scientist of the
директор начальник
Finance
Центра
Block.
по
I'm the
исследованию
Managing
данных блоковых
Director
финансов.
of the Research Center for
Мы с вами
Data
сегодня
of the
будем
Finance
говорить про
Department.
то,
Today we
как
will be talking
автоматизировать
about how we can
бухгалтерскую функцию
automate
с
the
помощью AI.
accounting
На самом деле начинали мы
with
с
the
другого
AI.
вопроса.
We'll actually start with another question.
Финансы обычно связаны с аналитикой, с
Finance is
достаточно
usually
сложными
connected to
задачами.
analytics,
И
which is
там,
quite
конечно, можно
complicated.
применять AI и
And
очень
you, of
успешно
course, can
достаточно
use
финансовые результаты.
AI successfully with a lot of financial
Мы
results.
также задались вопросом, можно
We've
ли
also asked
автоматизировать
ourselves the question,
то,
can
что
we
самое
automate
рутинное,
the most routine
самые
operations,
скучные задачи, на
the most
которые важно,
boring
которые необходимо
tasks
делать.
that are
И мы
still
это сделаем. Я с
important
вами
to
сегодня
do?
поделюсь как.
We'll do that
Мы
today, and I'll
реализовали
share with you
автоматическую
how.
проверку
We
документов на оплату
implemented
по госдоговорам,
automatic
которая
document
сама
check,
скучная и
which is
очень важная
probably
работа,
one of the
которую
most
необходимо делать в
boring
финансах, в
but
бухгалтерии.
important things you
Это
can
2
do in
миллиона
accounting.
документов в год и примерно по
We
127
cover
проверок на
2
один
million
такой документ.
documents a year, and
Зачем?
we do around
Для того,
127
чтобы
checks on
оптимизировать
each
затраты
document.
компании.
Why? To optimize the cost.
Сейчас 100%
Right now,
моделей уже внедрены. Сразу скажу, что
100% of these models are implemented, so it's all a
это
working
промышленный пилот.
live case.
И
It's an industrial
87%
pilot project.
тех проверок, которые
87% of the
реализовывали,
checks that we do
они работают.
are working.
87%
87%
которые
of the
поступают,
checks
успешно проходят.
that we do are
И
automatically
сейчас я
done.
расскажу подробнее, как все
And
это
let me
происходит.
tell you in detail how it all works.
Во-первых,
So
сам
first,
процесс.
the process itself.
Процесс оплаты по договору состоит из
The
нескольких
payment
этапов.
process consists of several stages.
Начиная от заключения договора,
It starts with striking the
представления,
deal,
получения
completing the
платежных
agreement,
документов, счет,
then
акции,
getting the
фактуры,
bills and other documents needed
предоставления
for it.
и дальше инициированию расчета. И на каждом этапе есть
And each
ручная
of these
работа.
stages
Да,
has manual
эти бумаги
labor,
необходимо проверять перед тем, как мы будем уверены, что по ним можно платить.
where we have to
Раз
check the
изменять
documents
законодательство.
before we can pay according to them to follow the law.
Выглядят они, прямо скажем, не самым
To be
дружелюбным
honest,
образом,
they don't really look user-friendly.
даже не только для дата-сайентиста.
And it's not just the
Но,
data
тем не менее,
scientists who find them
процесс
difficult to
целевой
see. Anyway,
представляется
the
нам следующим
process
образом.
looks
С
the
одной стороны,
following
есть
way.
договор, который мы заключили
On the
с
one hand,
поставщиком.
we have the agreement that we've
С
concluded
другой
with the
стороны,
supplier.
справа
On
вы
the other
знаете,
hand, on
есть
the right, you can
документы,
see that on the
которые,
slide, we see some documents
предоставляет нам поставщик, когда
that the
оказал
supplier
услугу.
provides us with
Документы, которые
when they
как раз
provide a
по тому,
service.
чтобы за эту услугу мы могли
These are the
платить.
documents that allow
Мы
us to pay
извлекаем
for the
полностью
services.
данные, оцифровываем сам
So
договор,
we
мы
mine all the
оцифровываем
data,
документы
we
поставщика.
digitalize the document, the agreement,
И дальше с помощью уже
and later,
проверок автоматически его проверяем
with
и
automatic
автоматизируем
checks,
процесс оплаты.
we actually
На
automate the
сегодняшний день
whole
в проме работает
payment
правая часть.
process.
То есть
Right
поступающие
now,
документы,
the right
автоматически
side
извлекает вся
is
информация
working. Get the documents,
и,
automatically get the
запускает
information from them,
обработку.
and then process
Это
them.
выглядит примерно так. Вот на
It
экране
looks
вы можете видеть
something like
счет.
this.
Здесь
You
есть
can see the bill on the left.
сущностей,
There are different
наименование
entities
исполнителя,
here.
наименование получателя и
The name of the
оплаченный счет,
receiver, the
наименование банка.
supplier,
Ну, словом,
all
всё
the
то,
different
что
numbers,
должно быть в
bank
счете,
name,
говорит о том,
everything
кто
a bill
платит,
should
кому
have
платит,
to say
сколько,
who
за что.
pays what, to whom, for
так далее.
what, etc.
Если просуммировать
Now, to sum up
все проверки, которые необходимо
all
с
the
этими документами
checks
сделать, их
that have to be done here, you get
при этом их можно
127.
разбить на виды задач,
You can
которые
divide them
выполняются,
into
которые
different
ставят.
tasks
Основная
that make it
задача
possible.
это извлечение сущности.
The
Да.
main task is NER.
Чтобы все работало, нужно
To make
20
everything
сущностей
work,
извлечь из счета, 20
we need
из
to
акта,
find 20
18 из счета
entities
фактуры,
from the
еще 18
bill,
из УПД.
20 from another one,
Эти
18
документы
from another
встречаются
document, and
в
finally
какой-то
18
пакете,
more.
может быть один только
These
документ,
documents
или
usually
несколько
come as a
документов
package,
в пакете.
one or
Поэтому
several documents in one
также решается
package.
задача классификации.
So
Нужно
we
понять
have another task,
пакет документов,
classification.
который поступил, на
We
каком
get a
на какой
package,
странице какой на
and
самом
we need
деле
to
документ
understand
находится.
what page shows what data.
Также,
Moreover,
чтобы ответить на самый,
to answer
наверное,
the
один из главных
probably
вопросов, за что же мы
one of the
платим,
most
нужно
important
расшифровать то описание,
questions, like what do we pay
услуги,
for,
оказанной, которая есть в
we
каждом
need to
счете.
understand what each of the
На самом
bills
деле нужно
says
классифицировать
it's
по
paying
некоторому
for.
внутреннему классификатору, который
And
в
you need to
компании.
classify it according to some internal documents in the company to connect it to the document. That's another classification task.
Параллельно с этим
At the end,
можно
or more like in
посмотреть,
parallel
если
to that, you
эти
can
документы
check
все необходимые подписи.
if the documents have all the
После этого
signatures they
можно
need.
собрать конструктор, который
Having done that,
позволит ответить
you can
на
compile
вопрос,
some kind of a constructor that may answer the question, can we pay that? By comparing the data received to the agreement data. So, to get the entities, you should first mark up the documents. We had 34 types of entities. Some of them repeat themselves. So each of the documents has 20 or 18 or 34. And we've developed a certain set of tools for that. We use state-of-the-art approaches for this task. Roberto, bidirection, Roberta, and everything. You'll be able to discuss that in detail a bit later. The accuracy that we get with these approaches is quite high. It's up to 90%, 97% in digital fields. That makes us understand that we found the entity that we needed in the layout, and we got it correctly. The accuracy for text fields is a little bit lower, because sometimes it's just harder to find the borders of a certain data entry, but it's still pretty high, 85%. To be able to find signatures and stamps, we used an augmented library, argumentations. We added 3,000 more documents to increase the accuracy of the model up to 5%. It looks something like this. A document. The model works with the document, finds the signatures and the stamps. Different colors show different types. There are bank stamps, supply stamps, etc. It's all detected. We used one-stage detector, yellow V5, that makes it much faster. It's much faster than its predecessor we used to use. Also, it shows just as high an accuracy, around 98%, which is very high, obviously. Finally, to solve the classification task, that actually have the descriptions of what we pay for, we've used white CNN model. We needed that kind of model because there are so many classes. I have 4 groups of classes that we use for the classification. The first one is the main one, the resource of the service. It defines the budget part that goes into that kind of payment. F1 speed is 92 here. We also show the metrics, additionally, how many packages were detected correctly. It's important because one document may have several services. If a bill has a payment for several different services, it produces a huge spreadsheet. To detect the whole bill correctly, we should classify each of these points correctly. And we measure the average accuracy for the packages detected. Of course, that percentage is a little bit lower. It's an important thing we'll go back to later. Now, when we got all these models, we can check the average accuracy of the whole solution. You can see it here. It starts with E, average accuracy, precision, which is quite high. For all the documents we use, all these numbers are above 96%, some are even 98.4. We also show the overall accuracy. This is the next number. It starts with a T. It falls significantly, but the reason is, to get that, we ask a question. Where did we get all the entities right in a document? There are many of them, 20 entities. So even a small mistake in one of them reduces the whole percentage. That's why the numbers fall to 76, 70, 85. It's important because we want to automate the whole process completely, and to do that, we have to get all the entities 100% correct. Now, the classification does not produce that kind of problems, fortunately. It's not that big of a problem. Sometimes we do get several kinds of documents, but the change is not that high. Now, how do we make it all upscale it? We used IDP platform for that, Intelligent Document Processing, meant for banks, one of the AA platforms, meant to process document flows. They use OCR for documents. That's exactly what we need, because what we get originally is a PDF file, and we need to make a text out of it before we can work with it. This platform also allows custom models that can actually do all the checks, which is what we did. To make these all models work, we created an orchestration. Looks like this. We get a package with scans, and 3 streams start. One, ABBYYFC templates with manually mocked borders for entities. It's one of the options how we can OCR this. It's fast track. Then, on the right, you can see cutting into pages. These pages are later sent to the signature detection. And finally, stream 3 in the middle. It's the full text. The whole package of documents is being OCR'd, and then it goes to the classification model. The classification model divides it into types of documents. It says like, this page is this document, that page is that document. Now we can understand where the bill is, the act, and everything. Now that all the documents are divided into groups, it all works in parallel into several versions of the NER model. Each of them works on their own part, and the parallel work speeds up the whole process. When NER has extracted the entities, part of the entities sends over to the service model that classifies them. All the models work in parallel, and then everything gets into an XML file, returned from the platform to the accounting system, where the checks are performed. So, what do we get? First of all, we get that the accuracy in real life is a little lower. In lab conditions, we had 96% on average for successful automatic checks. Again, what are successful checks? Remember I said that the information extracted from a bill received should be checked with the agreement information, which we already have. So a successful check is when it's all the same, equal. So in lab conditions, we only compare it to a model, right? Not to a real scan. And the overall result for the documents checked completely and being equal, the whole package, all the documents received, it's of course much lower. Even in lab conditions, clean conditions, it's only 53%. The mistakes accumulate. A little error in one entity, one field, one document, it all accumulates. And of course it reduces the overall accuracy. But when we switch to real live conditions, we also see that scans are sometimes lower quality, which creates even more errors. And of course the accounting system might have more errors too. Not all the agreements have the data filled in correctly. So only 85% of the checks we performed were successful, which means that so far we can't achieve full automation of the process, 100%. Still, we've decreased the labor required, 85%, you see that, to process the documents. So, our goal was to fully automate routine operations in the process, we've managed to significantly automate the process and optimize the costs, but we haven't achieved full automation. We're still working on it, and we're open towards cooperation. I want to thank the team working on that project, the data science product, the ADP platform team, the data science, the agile team, who's implemented all IT solutions, and the business, of course, the accounting. My speech is over. If you have any questions,